Hi, I'm Chad with Move for Guitar. This lesson is from our series Chords for Beginners. In a previous lesson, I showed you how to play an open G6 chord. In this lesson, I'm going to show you another version of an open G6 chord. In a previous lesson, I showed you this version of the open G major 6 chord. In this lesson, I'm going to show you another version, or what's called another voicing. And a voicing is the exact same chord, so you can have two chords that have the exact same name, and they have all the same notes in them. The only difference is that the notes are in a different order. And the only difference between this, the first one I showed you, the open G major 6, and the one I'm showing you now, is that you're adding another note that you fret. And the note that you're adding is with your fourth finger on the second string, third fret. In the other version I showed you, other voicing, I left that open. So this one you're adding it in. And there's a link in the description. It'll take you to the other lesson for the G major 6 chord that I showed you if you want to learn that as well. But I'll go over the fingering for this one too, so you don't have to watch the other one first. So the fingering for this chord is there's two ways to finger it. The first way is your third finger on the 6th string, 3rd fret, your second finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and then you reach your 4th finger down towards the floor to the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And then any note that you're not fretting, which would be your 4th, 3rd, and 1st string, are just open. You just let those ring out. And you strum through all the strings. So that's the first way to fret it. The other way would be with like this. And that would be your second finger on the 6th string, 3rd fret, your first finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and then your third finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. So you're fretting all the same notes, you're just using your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd finger now instead of your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And the way you fret it just depends on whatever chords are after it and what is going to be your easiest transition. And make sure whichever way you fret it that you're on the tips of your fingers. You have a nice arch here in your knuckle. They're not bent back like this. And your thumb is straight up and down. It's not sideways like that. And with this chord, you want all your fingers up towards the front of the fret, as close to the front fret wire as possible without being on top of it, or at least fairly close. You don't want to be back here in the fret, or you're going to get buzzing. Anything that you fret on the guitar, any note you fret, any chord you play, you want to try and get every finger as close to the front of the fret as possible, as close to the front fret wire as possible, without being on top of that fret wire. So right here is my 3rd fret. I want my second finger up towards this fret wire. I don't want it way back here, or I'm going to get buzzing. You want it up here, and you're going to have to, when it's up here, you're not going to have to put nearly as much pressure to get that note to ring out clearly. And that's not possible with every single finger of every single chord, because some chords you have other fingers in the way that keep one finger from, or multiple fingers from being close to the front fret wire. But with this chord you can get all your fingers close to the front of the fret without any problem because you don't have any fingers blocking it. So when you think you have that chord fretted properly, strum through the chord. If you hear anything like, just readjust, go through each string and see what's causing that. And just keep readjusting your fingers and your hand until you can get all the notes to ring out clearly. So that's an open G6 or an open G major 6 chord. If you'd like to get the diagram for this chord, you can click the link on the screen and it'll take you to an eGuide that you can download for free. And in this eGuide it has this chord, but it also has a whole bunch of other beginner chords that'll be really useful for you to learn. It just gives you a bunch of options for different chords and different versions of chords, and it'll really expand your knowledge and give you tons of options for playing chords and songs. And along with the chords, I give you a bunch of options for chord progressions. So I take the chords that are in the eGuide, put them together into sequences, and create chord progressions out of them so that you can actually hear them in a more musical situation, and you can learn the chord progressions to see what chords sound good together and also get ideas for different chord progressions that you can create on your own. That way you won't just learn a whole bunch of random chords and then have no idea how to use them. This will show you musical situations that they can be used in, and really expand your knowledge and help you as a beginner. So if you'd like to get that e-guide, just click the link on the screen and you can download that for free.